My wife cheated with my coworker for 5 months. I said nothing. Just documented everything. Hotel receipts, text screenshots, photos. When she filed for half my assets in the breakup, I showed my attorney the evidence, including the $8,000 in business trips she'd taken with him on our joint credit card. When the judge ordered her to pay me $12,000 in restitution, I, 36 male, am writing this because honestly, I need to get it out somewhere. My wife, 34, has been cheating on me for 5 months. And before you ask, yes, I know for sure. Yes, I have proof. And no, I haven't said a word to her about it. We work at the same company, different departments. She's in marketing, I'm in software dev. Been married 8 years, together for 10, no kids thankfully. Found out completely by accident. She left her phone on the bathroom counter one night. It buzzed while she was in the shower. I glanced over and saw a text from someone saved as Conference Room B in her contacts. The preview said, "Still thinking about yesterday. You're incredible." My stomach just dropped. You know that feeling when you know something's wrong but your brain hasn't caught up yet? That. Opened her phone. Full conversation history. Explicit messages. Photos I really wish I could unsee. Plans to meet up. And here's the part that made me physically sick. It was my coworker. This guy literally sits a few rows behind me. We've played softball together, had beers after work. I thought we were friends. So there I was, standing in my bathroom looking at months of messages between my wife and this dude. Reading about how they'd been meeting up at hotels, how good the sex was, how she wished she'd found him sooner. Normal reaction would be to storm into that bathroom and confront her, right? Scream, throw stuff, kick her out. I didn't do any of that. Something just clicked in my brain. Went completely cold. Because mixed in with all the gross affair stuff, there were other messages, her talking about our finances, our assets, how she was setting things up for a divorce, how I was so oblivious I'd never see it coming. One message literally said, "After I file, he's gonna be so blindsided, lol. Can't wait to take half his 401k. She wasn't just cheating, she was planning to screw me financially too. So I made a decision right there. I wasn't going to confront her. I was going to document everything and let her walk straight into her own trap. Put her phone back exactly where it was, got in bed, stared at the ceiling for hours while she slept next to me. Started planning. The next morning I acted completely normal. Made coffee, kissed her goodbye, went to work, came home, made dinner, watched TV, like nothing happened. But every night after she fell asleep, I'd take her phone and screenshot everything. Every message, every photo, every plan they made. Saved it all to a cloud account she didn't know about. Sometimes I'd be up until 2 a.m. just documenting. Then I started tracking our finances. We had these joint credit cards, my dumb idea from when we first got married because I wanted us to be financially transparent. She'd been using them to pay for hotel rooms. Same place every time, this boutique hotel downtown. Always on Tuesday or Thursday afternoons when she knew I had late meetings. Pulled up the credit card statements. Over $8,000 in hotel charges. $8,000 of my money paying for her to sleep with my coworker. She'd put them down as team building dinners or client meetings if I ever glanced at the statements. I never questioned it because I trusted her. Also found charges for lingerie I'd never seen her wear. Expensive restaurants we'd never been to together. A weekend trip she told me was a girls' weekend, except her friends were all posting from home that weekend and the hotel charge was for 2 people. I contacted a divorce attorney. Didn't file anything yet, just wanted to know where I stood. The attorney was this sharp woman who didn't sugarcoat anything. She looked at what I had so far and said, "Keep documenting, don't confront. Let her file first if possible. With evidence of adultery and financial infidelity, you can protect your assets." So that's what I did, for 5 months. 5 months of going to work and seeing both of them, watching them do their little secret smiles at each other. Her touching his arm when she walked past his desk, him doing that stupid smirk whenever she was around. 5 months of coming home and pretending everything was fine, asking about her day, listening to her lie to my face about where she'd been. 5 months of sleeping next to someone who thought I was the dumbest person alive. It was actually kind of fascinating in a messed up way. Once you know someone's lying, you start seeing all the tells. She'd shower the second she got home on hotel days. Changed her perfume. I recognized it from the credit card charges. Started working out more, buying new clothes. All the classic affair stuff you read about online. And I just kept documenting. Screenshots, credit card statements. I even drove by that hotel once on a Thursday and saw both their cars in the parking lot. Took photos of the license plates with timestamps. My attorney was impressed with how thorough I was being. Also maybe a little concerned about my mental state. She asked if I was okay doing this, if the emotional toll was worth it. Told her I'd rather spend 5 months being cold and strategic than spend the next 10 years being broke because I acted on emotion. Last month my wife finally made her move. Came home one evening and sat me down. Very serious face. We need to talk. I knew this was it. 5 months of waiting, about to pay off. Okay, what's up? I'm not happy. I haven't been happy for a long time. I think we should separate. No apology, no explanation of why she's unhappy. Just a flat declaration. I nodded slowly. Kept my face neutral even though my heart was pounding. All right, have you thought about how you want to handle things? She looked almost relieved that I wasn't fighting it. I think we should split everything down the middle, 50-50. It's the fair thing to do. Fair. The woman who spent $8,000 of my dollars on affair hotels thinks fair is splitting everything 50-50. And the condo? We sell it and split the equity, or one of us buys the other out, whatever makes sense. Okay, we should probably get lawyers involved to make sure everything's handled properly. Yeah, that's probably smart. She actually smiled, like she was proud of how mature we were being about this. That was a few weeks ago. She moved out to stay with her sister. Said she needed space to think. 2 days after she moved out, I filed for divorce. Had her served with papers at work. Apparently my coworker went pale when the process server showed up asking for her. Good. Her attorney sent over her demands within the week. She wanted half of everything. Half my 401k, half the condo equity, half our savings. Plus, she wanted spousal support because she sacrificed career advancement for our marriage. The number she was asking for would have left me basically starting over financially at 36. My attorney's response was a filing with every piece of evidence I'd collected over 5 months. Every screenshot, every hotel receipt, every credit card charge. A timeline showing when each affair meeting happened. Photos of their cars at the hotel. And the key detail. She used joint credit cards that I'm the primary holder on. She's just an authorized user. My attorney argued that's fraud, using marital funds to conduct an affair without my knowledge or consent. The preliminary hearing is next week. Her attorney already called mine trying to work something out before we get in front of a judge. Apparently my wife is very upset and doesn't want this to get messy. Too late for that. Update 1. Holy hell, the hearing was something else. Walked into the courthouse and there she was with her attorney and her sister. She looked rough, like she'd been crying for days. Part of me actually felt bad for a second. Then I remembered the text where she called me too stupid to notice anything, and that feeling went away real quick. Her attorney started by trying to paint me as vindictive. Said I was weaponizing her mistake to punish her for growing apart from me. Claimed our marriage was already dead before the affair even started. My attorney stood up and just started laying out facts. No emotion, no drama. Just evidence. Your Honor, the respondent conducted a 5-month affair while using the petitioner's credit card to fund it. Hotel rooms averaging $280 per visit, twice weekly. Lingerie purchases totaling over $1,000. Expensive dinners, a weekend trip for 2. I watched the judge's face. His eyebrows just kept climbing higher. The respondent told the petitioner these were work-related expenses. The petitioner, trusting his spouse, never questioned the charges. Her attorney tried to jump in. Your Honor, marital assets are marital assets. How they were spent during the marriage, judge cut him off. Counselor, are you arguing that using marital funds to facilitate adultery is the same as using them for household expenses? Dead silence. Then my attorney brought out the text messages. Had them printed out and organized by date. The judge read through some of them. The planning messages. The ones where they talked about me. There was one where she'd written, "He's so checked out, he doesn't even notice where I go anymore." Setting myself up nicely for the split. Gonna take half his 401k and get the condo. Judge read that one twice. My wife was crying now. Her sister had her arm around her. I felt nothing watching it. Just empty. "Ma'am," the judge said, looking at her. "Did you write these messages?" She could barely get words out. "Yes, but I didn't mean..." "Did you use your husband's credit card to pay for hotel rooms where you met your affair partner?" Longer pause. "Yes." "Did you tell your husband these were business expenses?" Even longer pause. "Yes." Judge leaned back in his chair. "Here's how this is going to work. The petitioner retains his 401k intact. The marital home will be sold with proceeds split 60-40 in favor of the petitioner to compensate for fraudulent use of marital funds." Her attorney stood up fast. "Your Honor, I'm not finished. The respondent will reimburse the petitioner for the documented hotel expenses of $8,000 plus an additional $4,000 for other affair-related charges clearly shown in the evidence. Total restitution of $12,000 due within 90 days. My wife made this sound like a hurt animal. Furthermore, the petitioner's request for denial of spousal support is granted. The respondent is employed full-time and capable of self-support. Given the documented fraud and deception, I see no grounds for requiring continued financial support." Her attorney tried one more time. "Your Honor, this is excessively punitive." "What's punitive is lying to your spouse while spending their money to cheat on them. We're done here unless you have something relevant to add." We weren't in there more than half an hour total. Outside the courthouse, my wife tried to come up to me. Her sister literally had to hold her back. "Please, can we just talk? Please." I looked at her. This woman I'd loved for 10 years, built a life with, trusted completely. "Your attorney can contact mine. That's the only communication we need." Her sister got in my face. "You're being so cruel. She made one mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Mistakes are forgetting to buy milk or double booking dinner plans. Sleeping with my coworker for 5 months while using my money to pay for it isn't a mistake. That's a series of deliberate choices." I walked away. Didn't look back. Got home and my coworker, ex-coworker now, more on that later, texted me. "Dude, I'm sorry, she told me you guys had an open thing." Deleted it. Blocked his number. Here's what's messing with me though. I won. Got basically everything I wanted legally. Protected my 401k, getting the bigger share of the condo equity. She has to pay me restitution. But coming home to an empty condo still sucks. My attorney warned me this would happen. Said the legal win doesn't fix the emotional damage. She was right. Update 2. Things got worse, obviously. So my wife doesn't have $12,000. Shocking, right? Turns out when you spend all your spare money on affair hotels, you don't have savings. Her attorney filed some motion to reduce the amount or extend the payment timeline. My attorney opposed it with documentation of her income and spending habits. Motion denied. That's when her family got involved. Her mom called me. First time I've talked to her since this all started. She went straight for the guilt trip. She's living in her sister's spare bedroom. She can barely afford to eat. And now you want $12,000 from her? The judge ordered $12,000. I didn't demand anything. The court did based on what she spent on her affair. That's gonna ruin her financially. She's having panic attacks. She can't sleep. Maybe she should have thought about consequences before spending 5 months sleeping with my coworker on my dime. You're being heartless after everything she's done for you. That actually made me laugh. Done for me? I paid the majority of our bills while she found herself career-wise. I supported her through 3 different job changes, and she gave me an STD scare because I had no idea she was sleeping with someone else. Silence on the other end. Tell your daughter to pay her court-ordered restitution and leave me alone. Hung up. Blocked the number. Few days later, I found out through a mutual friend that my wife's been posting vague stuff on social media. Nothing direct, just implications about financial abuse and controlling ex-partners and finally breaking free. Doesn't name me specifically, but anyone who knows us can figure it out. The comments are exactly what you'd expect. Her friends rallying around her, calling me all kinds of names. People who don't know the full story, acting like I'm some villain. My attorney said, don't respond publicly. Let her have social media. You have a court order. That's what matters. Then my coworker quit. Just straight up resigned out of nowhere. Found out through the office gossip chain that HR was investigating him for violating the workplace relationships policy. He bounced before they could fire him. Can't say I feel bad about that. The condo went on the market, we priced it to sell fast, just wanted it gone, got an offer within a week. Actually over asking. This market is insane. Had to meet my wife at the title company to sign everything. First time seeing her since court. She looked terrible. Not saying that to be mean, she genuinely looked sick. Lost weight, dark circles under her eyes, hair wasn't even brushed properly. We sat on opposite sides of the waiting room. Didn't speak. Her sister was with her again, shooting death glares at me the whole time. When we sat down to sign, the title agent went through all the numbers. She was getting about $53,000 after her 40% cut and paying off her share of the mortgage. I was getting around $77,000. The agent mentioned the restitution order, that she'd need to pay me the $12,000 separately. Her sister lost it. This is insane. That money was for both of them. How is it fraud if they're married? The agent looked super uncomfortable. Ma'am, there's a court order here. I'm just following the legal documents. It's complete bullshit. My wife grabbed her sister's arm. Stop. Just stop. We signed everything. Got our copies. My wife stood up and looked directly at me. I hope you're happy now. I actually thought about that for a second. No, I'm not happy. I'm 36, getting divorced, selling a place I thought I'd spend the rest of my life in. My wife of 8 years cheated on me with someone I worked with every day. I'll probably have trust issues for years. So no, I'm not happy. Picked up my folder. But at least I have my dignity. Left her standing there. The settlement money hit my account a few days later. After attorney fees, I cleared about $68,000. Started looking at smaller places. Something with no memories attached. My wife has 2 months to pay the restitution. Her attorney keeps filing for extensions. My attorney keeps fighting them. It's exhausting, honestly. The mutual friends are picking sides now. Lost a couple who bought her financial abuse story. The ones who actually know what happened have stuck around. My boss pulled me aside at work, asked if I was doing okay, said he'd heard some rumors but wanted my side. I gave him the basic version, found out about an affair, filed for divorce. It got complicated. He nodded. Told me if I needed time off to just let him know. Said what I did took guts. Not sure about that. Some days I think I handled it right. Other days I wonder if I should have just taken the 50-50 split and moved on quietly. But then I remember those messages, how they laughed about me, how she called me stupid and clueless. Nah, I handled it exactly right. Final update. It's finally over, like actually over. Divorce is finalized and I need to close this chapter. My wife paid the restitution. Not because she wanted to, her family covered it. Her dad apparently liquidated some investments to pay it. Found out through someone who knows someone that he was furious with her, told her not to come to him for money ever again. The $12,000 hit my account a couple weeks back. Electronic transfer. No note, no message, just the money. Thought I'd feel victorious or something. Mostly I just felt tired. I moved into a smaller condo across town. 1 bedroom, decent balcony, 0 memories. Living alone after 10 years of sharing space is weird. The silence is peaceful, but also depressing. Started seeing a therapist. First session, she asked if I felt guilty about how everything went down. Honestly? Yeah, sometimes. Not guilty for exposing the affair or protecting myself financially. Guilty for how cold I became. For turning off my emotions like a switch and just operating. For spending 5 months pretending while documenting everything. Therapist said, that was trauma response. Self-preservation mode. Maybe she's right. Doesn't make it feel better. The social media drama died down eventually. My wife deleted all her vague posts after someone who knew the real story commented asking if financial abuse meant using your husband's credit card for affair hotels. She ended up blocking half her friends after that. Heard through the grapevine, she's renting a studio now. Working long hours, trying to rebuild savings. Her sister apparently stopped talking to her after finding out my wife had borrowed $3,000 from her last year, claiming it was for medical bills. It wasn't. My coworker moved out of state, got a job at some startup. Someone told me he's engaged now to someone he met online. Good for him, I guess. Still can't think about him without getting angry, but it's getting duller. Dating has been hard. Downloaded the apps, went on a few dates. Can't shake this feeling that everyone's hiding something. Every time someone's vague about their day, my brain goes to worst-case scenarios. Therapist says that'll fade with time. Trying to believe her. Got a message last week from my ex-wife's best friend. Woman who was at our wedding, who I'd known for years. I wanted you to know I'm sorry. She told us you'd grown apart mutually. I didn't know about the affair until after court. What she did was wrong. You deserved better. I thanked her. Didn't really know what else to say. There's no dramatic ending here. No big karma moment where my ex-wife's life falls apart. She's dealing with consequences, financial problems, damaged relationships, reputation hit among people who know the truth. But she's still living her life, probably moving forward. And I'm doing the same. The money from the condo sale plus the restitution is sitting in savings, down payment on a house eventually maybe. Or I'll invest it. Haven't decided. Work is fine. Sometimes awkward when people who don't know ask about my ex. I keep it short. We divorced, didn't work out. Started running. Just around the neighborhood a few times a week. Helps clear my head. No dramatic transformation or anything. Just 30 minutes of not thinking about anything except breathing and moving. Some days are okay. Some days I come home and the silence hits wrong and I order takeout and fall asleep watching whatever's on Netflix. This is what recovery looks like, I guess. Not linear, not inspiring, just ongoing. Do I regret documenting everything? No. If I'd confronted her right away, I'd be in a way worse position financially. That evidence protected me. Do I regret the coldness? The 5 months of pretending? That's more complicated. Therapist asked me, if you could go back, would you do anything differently? I thought about it. No, but I wish I hadn't needed to do it at all. My ex texted me last week from a new number. Just said I'm sorry. Didn't respond. There's nothing left to say between us. The divorce is done. Restitution is paid. Condo is sold. All the paperwork is filed away in a folder I'll probably never open again. I'm 36, single, starting completely over. Not the life I planned, but it's what I've got. And slowly, day by day, I'm learning to be okay with that.